Hey there, brain enthusiasts. Ever wonder why you can't resist that late-night snack? Or why you suddenly forget someone's name right after they've introduced themselves? Well, buckle up because we're about to dive into some fascinating psychological facts about your brain. I'm Moon, and in this video, we'll explore the quirks and mysteries of the most complex organ in your body. Get ready to be amazed by what's going on inside your head. Main content. Let's start with something you've probably experienced, the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. You know when you learn a new word and suddenly start hearing it everywhere? That's not just coincidence, it's your brain playing tricks on you. Our brains are wired to notice things that are familiar to us. So once you learn something new, your brain becomes more attuned to it. It's like buying a new car and suddenly seeing that model everywhere on the road. Now, let's talk about decision-making. Did you know that your brain makes decisions before you're even aware of it? Scientists have found that our brains start the decision-making process up to 10 seconds before we consciously make a choice. This doesn't mean we don't have free will, but it does suggest that a lot of our choices are influenced by unconscious processes. Next time you're torn between two options, remember that your brain might already have a preference. Speaking of choices, have you ever wondered why it's so hard to make decisions when you're hungry? There's actually a scientific reason for this. When we're hungry, our brain's ability to make rational decisions is impaired. This is because the brain uses glucose for energy, and when we're hungry, glucose levels drop. So next time you have an important decision to make, grab a snack first. Let's move on to memory. Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there? This common experience is called the doorway effect. Our brains create event boundaries when we move from one location to another. This can cause us to forget the task we had in mind when we entered the new space. So it's not just you being forgetful, it's your brain trying to be efficient. Now, here's a fun fact: your brain can't actually multitask. What we think of as multitasking is actually our brain switching rapidly between tasks. This switching comes at a cost. It can reduce our productivity by up to 40%. So next time you're tempted to juggle multiple tasks, remember that focusing on one thing at a time might actually be more efficient. Did you know that your brain is more active when you're asleep than when you're watching TV? During sleep, our brains are busy processing information, forming memories, and even solving problems. This is why sometimes you wake up with a solution to a problem you were struggling with the day before. It's not magic, it's your brain working overtime while you sleep. Here's another interesting fact: your brain uses about 20% of your body's total energy. That's a lot for an organ that only makes up about 2% of your body weight. This high energy consumption is why learning new things or concentrating for long periods can make you feel physically tired. So don't feel bad if you need a nap after a study session, your brain is working hard. Let's talk about emotions. Did you know that your brain can't actually feel pain? While your brain processes pain signals from the rest of your body, it doesn't have pain receptors itself. That's why brain surgeries can be performed while the patient is awake. Now, here's something that might surprise you: your brain is capable of generating about 70,000 thoughts per day. That's a lot of mental chatter. However, studies suggest that a large percentage of these thoughts are repetitive or negative. This is why practices like meditation, which aim to quiet the mind, can be so beneficial for mental health. Speaking of mental health, let's discuss the impact of social connections on your brain. Human beings are inherently social creatures, and our brains reflect this. Social isolation can actually lead to a decrease in the size of the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for learning and memory. On the flip side, positive social interactions release oxytocin, often called the love hormone, which can reduce stress and promote feelings of well-being. Here's a fact that might make you want to pick up a new hobby: learning new skills can actually change the structure of your brain. This is due to neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to form new neural connections throughout your life. So whether you're learning a new language, picking up an instrument, or trying out a new sport, you're not just acquiring a skill, you're literally reshaping your brain. Let's talk about creativity. Contrary to popular belief, creativity isn't just a right brain thing. In fact, creative thinking involves multiple areas of the brain working together. When you're being creative, your brain enters a state similar to daydreaming, allowing different areas to communicate more freely. This is why some of your best ideas might come when you're relaxed or doing something unrelated to the problem at hand. Now, here's something to keep in mind next time you're cramming for an exam: your brain consolidates memories during sleep. This means that pulling an all-nighter might actually be counterproductive. Instead, studying consistently over time and getting a good night's sleep before a test can help you remember information better. Did you know that your brain can't distinguish between real and imagined experiences? This is why visualization techniques can be so effective in sports and other performance-based activities. When you vividly imagine yourself performing a task, your brain activates similar neural pathways as it would if you were actually doing the task. Let's wrap up with a fascinating fact about decision-making. Studies have shown that we tend to be happier with decisions when we have fewer options to choose from. This is known as the paradox of choice. Too many options can lead to decision paralysis and regret. So next time you're feeling overwhelmed by choices, remember that limiting your options might actually lead to greater satisfaction. Well, there you have it, a journey through some of the most interesting psychological facts about your brain. From decision-making to memory, creativity to sleep, our brains are truly remarkable organs. I hope this video has given you a new appreciation for the complex processes happening inside your head every day. If you found this information interesting, why not share it with a friend? You might just blow their mind. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating content about the human brain and psychology. Until next time, keep those neurons firing.